What's up, family? So, as you know, coming over to this channel, this is going to be kind of like a daily uh, topic in philosophy. And for some of you, you may know this, but in addition to going to law school after college, when I was in college, I actually studied philosophy. That was my major. I studied philosophy and business, so I had kind of a dual degree. I actually had I studied philosophy, business, and accounting. But in my last semester of college, I realized I was going to have to take like 21 hours to get all three of those completed. So I ended up not finishing out the accounting degree just because those are the boringest of the classes, and I knew I wasn't going to do anything with accounting. I was on my way to law school. But the study of philosophy really was just because I was interested in it. It wasn't really a practical thing. You know, there's not a whole lot of jobs out there in philosophy, but I found it to be the most useful of what I've studied in school. Actually, I think it helps me on a daily basis more than just about anything. So I'm like, it's kind of excited about doing a little lesson from philosophy every day and show you kind of some ways in which it pertains to our business. Hopefully this is of help to you. Feel free to send me DMs of suggestions or anything if something comes up, or to continue the conversation. But this first lesson today, I'm just going to read the passage here from Seneca is an ancient philosopher, but it's on the brevity of life, which I think is really fitting considering what we're doing in business, what we're doing now. For me, this really hits home because I got started on this business kind of later. It's my second career really, after spending 13 years as an attorney, and I realized I don't have all the time in the world to make this work. So I think this is a super important topic in our business, but I'm just going to go ahead and read it and then I'll discuss it a little bit after. So he writes, where all the geniuses, actually he spoke, I don't think he wrote this. It's probably written by some, like quoted of him in another book. It could have been written down on a tablet or something, but were all the geniuses of history to focus on this single theme, they could never fully express their bafflement at the darkness of the human mind. No person would give up even an inch of their estate, and the slightest dispute with a neighbor can mean hell to pay. Yet we easily let others encroach on our lives. Worse, we often pave the way for those who will take it over. No person hands out their money to passers-by, but to how many do each of us hand out our lives? We're tight-fisted with property and money, yet think too little of wasting time, the one thing about which we should all be the toughest of misers. And that's, again, Seneca on the brevity of life. So, to me, I think this is a really important topic. I mean, we're in this business to advance our own lives, our families' lives, and kind of leave a legacy when we go. And anytime we spend a bunch of time doing other things, especially things that are just distractions and don't move the needle forward, I think we're doing a disservice to ourselves, to our family, and to those that will come after us. 100 years from now, nothing that happens today is going to really matter other than what we leave behind for our family. People aren't going to often speak our names hundreds of years from now. In fact, very few of us will have our name spoken at all. I assume that myself will be one of those people who 100 years plus from now, seldom will my name come to the mind of anybody. But I can still make a massive impact on people that are 100 years from now, that are in my family, that are in my community. So this is just a really great, I think, lesson that, the only thing that I can do to make sure that I leave that legacy is by making sure I'm making the best use of my time every day. So, today and every day, there's going to be an endless stream of interruptions. I'm just kind of reading some of my notes here on the topic, but phone calls, emails, visitors, unexpected events. Booker T. Washington, who many of you may be familiar with, but he observed that the number of people who stand ready to consume one's time to no purpose is almost countless. And that's in a day before there was social media. That's in a day before there were computers or the internet. That's in a day when things were drastically different in this country. And it just gets worse and worse in terms of the number of people who want to consume our time with no purpose to consuming it, other than just to extract value from us and with no return of value to us. Now, a philosopher, on the other hand, knows that their default state should be one of reflection and inner awareness. This is why they so diligently protect their personal space and thoughts from the intrusions of the world. They know that a few minutes of contemplation are worth more than any meeting or any report. They also know how little time we're actually given in life and how quickly our stores of it can be depleted. Seneca's passage that I read, it reminds us that while we might be good at protecting our physical property, we are far too lax at enforcing our mental boundaries. Property can be regained. There's quite a bit of it out there, and some of it is still completely untouched by mankind, and we're producing things at a very rapid pace. I'd say it's probably the most production of new things is happening every single day. We're probably hitting a new record of new production of things on this earth. But time, time is our most irreplaceable asset, and we cannot buy more of it. We can only strive to waste as little as possible. The way I'm going to go about my day, the way I hope many of you will go about your day, is by filtering out those distractions and focusing only on things that are going to move the needle forward. I'm not going to spend time looking at things, spending time with people that are not helping me move that needle forward in my life, to provide the best type of future I can for myself, for my family, and for my community. And I say strive because it's hard. I mean, people are going to intrude, and it's going to take a while to realize that these messages, these things that are coming into our life to take up our time, it's hard sometimes to realize that that's what it's doing. But the second that realization hits, because I'm thinking about Seneca and what he said, and I'm thinking about this message on being a spendthrift of time, I'm going to refocus and get back to doing something that moves the needle forward, whether that's calling a business, finding another business to call, whether that's sending out a text message, whether that's getting a meeting scheduled, whatever it is that's going to move my needle forward in this business, or whether that's spending a few minutes with my son, spending a few minutes with some personal development that's really important in this business. I'm just not going to waste it on the things that don't matter. There's a guy named Miles Golden who I like to follow, some of his stuff that he puts out there. And he said this the other day, and this really hit home for me because one of the things I find I do spend some time on is watching sports. I love sports. And he it was like he was speaking to me. He wasn't, but he was just watching, just doing a presentation he probably did months ago. And he said, he was talking about preserving your time and using your time wisely. And he said something, he was imitating somebody who was interacting with him. And he said, but the big game's on, or my team's playing. And he said, it's not your team. If you lose your home, if you're kicked out on the street, if you get evicted, is your team going to be there? Are they going to notice? Are they going to even know that that's happening? It's not your team, And for me, that really resonates because that's probably one of the biggest distractions I have is focusing in on the sports teams that I follow. There's for other people that might be social media, that might be people that we watch, just about the stories about their life and things that are going on in their life and those kind of distracting things, or it might be television programs or other just forms of entertainment, where we are being consumed by something else, where our energy's been taken to further somebody else's agenda and we're not getting anything back out of it that's lasting at all. It's just fleeting. It's a few minutes worth of entertainment is all. It's a few minutes of distraction from what we should be doing. So I hope that this is helpful. I hope we're all good stewards of our time and strive to be even better stewards of our time. Appreciate you all. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Look forward to talking to you again tomorrow. Thanks.